All right, I'm about to start the roasting experience. I mean, we'll see how this goes. I have not actually looked at the offer much. I did look at Yuri's offer before. I actually did a pretty extensive roast. Oh yeah, I still need to switch to the live scene. So second, but I guess we can start. There we go. Still back from the cardboard live stream studio from IKEA with some relevant links in the background for the Roblox SEO and also the Insights offer with the 90% off. However, I kind of said I will roast a little bit on Catalan's technical writing offer, which let's get to it, I guess. So I already mentioned that, but first of all, the problem I have is generally that I don't see the offer anywhere here. I don't see it in the pinned tweet. I don't see it in a banner. I don't see it in the short description. Do I see it in a long? I don't even use this extended bio. No, I guess it's not even in the extended bio. As far as I can tell, YouTube, blog, socials, not the course. It's actually not even mentioned there, right? So this is like something you should take in note that, like, for example, like Catalan's technical writing offer, no direct links or mention of the course. That means like Twitter bio, banner, pinned tweet. That's just this is a acquisition problem because you're not, how to say, you're okay. I'll mention it here as well. Again, you need about like 15 points of contact with your brand or product before like a person buys. It's not guaranteed that it needs to be like, some purchases are just like impulse buys and people just buy it. That can also be Black Friday when people are more willing to try new things and enjoy the cheap discounts, like that, something for like a steal, like it appears to be a steal, sure. But this is not like, in general, it's not that moment where, especially for this course, I assume it's not I even forgot the price, but I assume it's not priced where it's actually an impulse buy for everyone, at least for most people. So I need to remember that there's the reason why you want to have it here if you use X a lot, which, as I also read some tweets and stuff before, like you also have 128k followers. Who knows how many of them are relevant and still engaged with your content, but the expectation would be that you have significantly higher reach than a lot of other people here, especially also in small bets community where we interacted more, because you at least have like two, like even these one-liners here, maybe not, they don't go, maybe don't all go viral and stuff, but they at least have like the 2-3k reach. So you have at least some reach compared to like some of us who get like, I don't know, 50-100 impressions sometimes from a tweet with maybe a couple likes. So you have the opportunity to have extra. So obviously people probably click in your profile more as well, and here you have an opportunity to remind them. One is remind people who already know you, but remind that you have that offer, so it's constantly on their mind. Because the one thing I'm actually not checking is like what's on your LinkedIn and everything, like like LinkedIn and Instagram and Threads. I'm not. I probably won't even go through your profiles, but I assume that, as you mentioned before, your X is the primary resource. We'll return to the blog a bit later. We'll check also what's happening there, but the primary resource, I assume, where you interact with people is on X. So also regarding your following. So my expectation would be that you have a significantly higher chance to remind people and create those points of contact with people. Even if they go later to your blog, your YouTube channel, that they're subscribed there, they still have this constant reminder on X. If they return back to X, browse, they see you, they see your course occasionally. So you should keep that way. You should make sure that you keep it somewhere here. Like you don't need to have it always on a pinned tweet, but at least you keep it in a banner or a description as well. Like I mention something here directly, because even when I click this, I believe now it's not. It's actually right on top, so it's good. It's the primary link you have right now, but you need to click into your profile, and then you need to click into the link into bio, and then you get to the possibility to click on this link. And there's even other links, so people could even start to get distracted from time. But at least it's a top link. That's nice. I'm not even going to the landing page right now yet because I want to make sure that you get as many eyeballs as possible on your course. We also want to make sure that we remind people who are revisiting you. That also probably means you need to, yeah, like at least here you're mentioning again your course, but I think it wasn't even that common that you had your course tweets, right? August, November? I'm pretty sure you were tweeting in between November 4th and August 5th. Where did the tweets go? Did you delete the tweets? You didn't take a 3 months break from X, right? I mean, obviously, I guess you might not be in a chat or anything yet. Maybe you check back later, but I remember you tweeting. I didn't think you were taking. Maybe you were gone. I don't think so. Well, anyway, whatever happened here, something's missing, right? Okay, here's the. And you had pretty big reach considering the 200. I don't know how many like actual purchases you got from this, but that was decent reach. This tweet should be more frequently floated around. Not the same tweet maybe, but you should float it around. And what you have is like if you told me like you're selling a course on writing, because you have a lot of these one-liners, my first assumption would be like you're selling a course on like shit posting, like your shit post writing, like like copywriting and for shit posts, because I don't feel like because I don't see that like some kind of technical writing hooks here to make sure people who are interested in technical writing would actually be interested in reading like some free value or getting some kind of lead magnet where you collect email addresses and then you can warm them up leading into the purchasing course decision. So like what's missing is like free value related to technical writing on socials, X, LinkedIn, etc. Maybe you do that on LinkedIn. Maybe actually do that on LinkedIn, and I'm just not aware of it because I don't follow you there. But I don't see it as much on X right now. Also because there's 3 months missing in the middle now. Like I don't see any tweets between August 5th and November 4th, so I can't know for sure whether you actually had them. But if you did, it's missing. Anyway, that's what I don't see right now. So they're gone. So this is the free value you should be creating, and then this would be leading to like a newsletter, welcome series, is emails, upsell to course. That's basically the funnel. Simple funnel. Like I wouldn't call like every single funnel, but that's like a simple funnel, like a micro funnel you should actually be having to increase your reach. Increase not your reach, but increase your conversions for the course. That's because what I mentioned by increase your reach, I meant increase your points of contact with the person. So if you have the welcome series that are introducing them to the technical writing, telling them the value of it, telling them actual like dream outcome they would get, like making let's say $1,000 on the side. You tell them that, and then you say, okay, you can make $1,000 on the side, and here a course that costs less than 100, so it's 10x value. See that's the anchoring of the value. So you make 1,000, you pay 100, 10x. 10x is usually like a golden rule generally, that like you want to 10x the value for the person. Oh no, I got a follower, and I'm like, yeah, you should be happy for getting a follower, and hopefully that's a real person, because based on the nickname, I feel like the one of the bots is coming in again. I'm sorry if you're not a bot, but or is my just my chat not updating? Okay, okay, maybe it wasn't a bot. If it was a bot, I was already. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, bots are machine. Anyway, so okay, we move we move on with this. Um, yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea who you are. I have no idea who you are, because I didn't expect. Like if you know me from somewhere else, I spent I don't random. The most of the random people who come in here are actually bots who offer me to create a banner or a profile image for the live stream. Although I'm just multi-streaming on Twitch, YouTube, and X, so this is just so I usually get a lot of random like spamming bots, and I believe that's literally bots just listening to my audio stream, and if I say yes or no, they just say like, "Okay, I'm leaving." Um, that's the usual experience. Anyway, returning to what's going on here for my roast for this course and stuff is actually okay. So let's finally go to where's the course links. Let's go to the website finally. Okay, so we get to the website. So this is the landing page. Yeah, this is the landing page we get. So you're selling technical writing course. Um, what I'm seeing here is like accelerate your career with technical writing, and that's your headline, and then the subheading is use the power of technical writing to showcase your expertise, position you as a leader, and earn money. It's nice to be like, oh yeah, accelerate your career. Yeah, yeah. Like everyone who has a job or anything wants to accelerate the career. But what is tangible about accelerating the career? What will you like? Because it depends on who you're talking to, right? Someone who's not working a 9 to 5, do they feel like they need to accelerate the career? Because they might not be looking at they might be looking at themselves as like entrepreneurs, solo entrepreneurs, indie hackers, whatever you name them, freelancers. They don't generally like maybe would talk about their career. They'll be like, "Oh, hey, how do I improve my? How do I get to better clients? How do I get paid more for my gigs?" I wouldn't like use the same language to like accelerate my career. Perhaps I would be like, "How do I like 10x my income, how I 5x my income, how do I land those writing gigs as a freelancer, for example, as a freelance writer?" Like I would my language probably would be different, and in here it's mostly a question of understanding like your target audience, like who is exactly the target audience. Is it an actual person making money with writing right now, and you want to level them up so they have better results, which means they can land better gigs. They can get paid back. They can get paid more for exactly that specific skill set of writing. maybe those are writers who are doing some kind of ghostwriting, but they want to get into technical writing because they see it as a more profitable niche uh, of writing, perhaps like maybe an industry shift. So they go from like writing some random guest posts or some random cheap SEO posts. They go into technical writing, and suddenly they're getting paid more per individual gig. Maybe that's because I'm not very familiar with the niche, but that would be my that would be my assumption that those would be like the one type of the audience for you. Maybe the audience is a person who's doing something and they're working 9 to 5, but they want to like start making money on the side, and they see writing as one opportunity to do that, and because they're technical right now, they work with tech. Maybe they're working like generally they're maybe like software engineers, and they'll be like, oh, I think I could do technical writing, and they want to make some money on the side. They want to make, let's say, couple $1,000 a month on the side, depending where you are. Obviously, in the US, maybe that's more. In Europe, you might settle for a smaller amount on the side sometimes, but that might be like if you name, like, for example, make $1,000 on the side in 3 months, let's say. um yeah. Hey, Catalin, is there a difference between my link and the link I'm viewing right now? I don't think there's a difference, right? Huh. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So when you think about those audiences, whether that's an existing writer leveling up skills, is it a person looking for a side income? Your language for the offer should reflect directly what their dream outcome is. And for some, dream outcome would be starting. Yeah, six. Yeah, those are actually the so-called 60 viewers usually means they're on X, they count as views. So impressions for a for an X live stream are actually viewers. Like it seems silly, okay, but they're inflating numbers that way. That's actually how they count. So an impression of that video or broadcast is actually a viewer on X. Like, it's ridiculous. That it's the same with like quote tweets. When the tweet actually adds impressions to original tweet, the original tweet actually, like, it's a double booking, right? Double bookkeeping, because they add up the quote tweet adds impressions to original tweet. The original tweet has inflated impressions, but they include the quote tweet impressions in the original tweet, for example. Um, so if you add both together, you're actually not counting correctly, and Elon is fine seeing that, but it's actually you're actually inflating your engagement numbers. Elon is usually fine if someone starts counting that way, but it's not true. It's not correct. So that's same with the live streams, by the way. I definitely get more viewers right now on X, sure, but the real number is, I don't know how many, probably a couple people. Yeah. Anyway, returning back to this. So you address the audience specifically, whether that's a writer, whether that's a person on this want to make the first 1,000 on the side, and you use that in a heading and a subheading. So you can choose which audience you believe is the most likely. The most likely you can convert. Maybe you already have some knowledge from the existing conversions. Who is the most likely that's converting right now? So you can try to address those people specifically with your heading, subheading, and these parts, which could include the visuals from here. For example, your followers on X. It could be in the build your reputation. There could be an image or something. Like, you could probably do something by adding some imagery here and just literally adding your profile image from X, for example. Not like profile image, but showing that you have those followers on X, because you can't expect that everyone who comes here knows you from X. You can't also make that assumption. Then you obviously the earnings. I believe you had you have the invoices here, and maybe you can like anyway, if you can put some kind of statements from earning money like here, like you could showcase the additionally the image, and you could use the language properly, like how use for example, use the strategy or learn the strategies how I made 25,000 plus from technical writing or with technical writing. You use that language here or even somewhere high. I mean, currently, if I would just rework this, I would use that language with those numbers here. I would make sure the follower count is somewhere here about the reputation building. The engaging YouTube scripts, you could feature your YouTube channel maybe as well or whatever you had. Then about somewhere here, you could also generate unlimited content ideas. Maybe you could plug your blog here and like how I use technical writing to like uh, generate some kind of newsletter followers, or like how I came up with all these ideas for my blog posts, for example. Use the your existing platform of and content you've built and the money you've earned as a social proof that you can directly showcase right in these points of building reputation, generating ideas, earning money, all of that. Even learning the writing basics, maybe be more specific about how you have like your strategies or frameworks, how you use them. Just mention them, that you get them as part of the course. I have not gone through your course, so I can't 100% tell. I did start your course, and I really like the intro with videos. I was a little bit disappointed that it didn't follow up with the videos later for everything, but I think maybe there are more videos, but I know that some of the sections didn't have videos. So I was a little bit disappointed that the videos cut short of the intro. I really like the video part in the intro though. So yeah, so this is what I mean about targeting the audience. So if you would be running ads for this, which you could do with Facebook, for example, especially retargeting ads, so you get people from X, you get people from newsletter, you get people from LinkedIn and YouTube channel, and then you get them to your landing page, and then you can retarget with if you add the pixels on the like Facebook pixels, Meta pixels, Google pixels, depending which one you choose. I mean, Facebook probably would be better for you. You add the pixels on the website, and then you retarget those people with ads. It is probably worth trying. I don't know what your conversion rate is right now, but if you work a little bit on your landing page and the targeting, specifically with those first couple seconds when people see your website and they see the hook, and they maybe scroll a little bit down and they also see a little bit more social proof, that is something like a dream outcome for them. Like at that point, I think you could try also running some ads in the future. But thinking about that, but that will be mostly, I would say, retargeting ads. So it's already a warmer audience, so you don't overpay for the conversions. Okay, so what do I want to talk about? So that's my biggest thing about this whole thing, I guess, is that you want to sell that target audience the results they want. So you should choose at least one of those audiences that you can identify right now. If you run ads, or if you have basically if you have different types of content that you might be writing on X that introduce people to different concepts in technical writing, if it's more beginner friendly, like to start technical writing, you could also use different landing pages on your website. So you could lead one group to one landing page, which is specifically tailored with the messaging to the group that wants to start earning the side income with technical writing. And then you could lead the more experienced, more technical posts with like in-depth knowledge that might get more actual maybe that's more relevant to the newsletter as well, that gets more engaged, like more technical writers reading those posts and actually getting knowledge. For those, you could actually move to the other landing page with a different messaging, which maybe perhaps targets them specifically about how they could move up with the higher paid gigs or better clients, something like that. That would be this part, and obviously this part here. These are I guess the main parts. I guess I like this. I guess it's kind of clear to me what it means, but maybe some people get confused, I guess, what exactly this would mean. But generally, I would see that this part and this part could be the targeting mechanisms for the first like couple of seconds. People spend on your site. Then obviously you have the image could actually use a little bit better resolution. I see a little bit too many pixels here. That's not a big complaint, but on mobile probably it's completely fine. On desktop, I actually see the pixels. Okay, you have your introduction to your story, which is cool. You have this extra social proof here, which is cool. Could be higher, but it's good to see here. I see your clients. There's also nice social proof. Maybe they could even be smaller. Honestly, they take like because when I'm streaming in 180p resolution, I would normally sit on 4K, but unfortunately X doesn't accept the 4K output, so the text would be too small. So in 180p, like it takes too much space. But I do like that seeing the invoices as well as social proof that you getting paid. It's always nice to see. And we get to the pricing now. What I might be missing is like somewhere after here, like already here or here, because I see these numbers and I already have went past. Like I would want to like have a button just already have a call to action to go to pricing or buy, because I currently, or maybe even on desktop it's a floating, or even on mobile like a floating bar and the top or the bottom, because currently I don't know how I can. Oh, you have this start, but I was skipping this button already, because once I sit here I was like, so where's the CTA, because I don't see it actively on my screen. And sometimes people think, oh, it's not a big deal, they can scroll up again and remember the button, right? I forgot about the button, and they can scroll down and probably will find it, right? Yeah, but I'm scrolling so much. And during this time, if I'm on mobile especially, like I could be receiving like 10 mobile notifications from random apps, people. Maybe if I have X notifications, someone's like Instagram, YouTube notifications, I might be receiving an email, someone's messaging me on WhatsApp. I might switch context and I might never return to this tab, or even return later. I might somehow not be in the mood of buying anymore. So you want that part of a little bit of impulse. You want that immersion of like, oh, hell yeah, I want this, to be like, okay, I'm acting now. So this, for example, this location already feels like you should have an extra CTA here. Uh, the way you should be looking at these things when I'm just explaining like this, you should not take it for, wow, I just stopped writing on the side. I actually wanted to write all those main points down. I just started talking, forgot. The way you would want to approach this is actually have like something like Clarity from Microsoft installed, and then you can review individual sections, or you can see you can see the heat maps of their journey on the website. You can also see which elements they click, where they like move with the mouse. So I personally, when I start like something completely new on some like a new, either that's an ad campaign or a new project, and like checking the landing pages, I personally would review some individual sessions, and I would try to understand it like a literal individual user, where they drop off. The heat maps help me understand in general, but I would look at individual sessions and I would go through how they move through the website, trying to understand where they stop, where they seem to be paying attention and reading, where they seem to be skimming over because it doesn't feel relevant to them, and where they actually take action. And that would be like the main for the landing page, like use Clarity from Microsoft. It's free, by the way, or similar to see real user interaction. It's much better than Google Analytics on like a micro scale. where you want to actually see what people doing instead of like seeing like, oh, they've spent 5 seconds on the site, like, yeah, well, it doesn't tell me much. I want to know where and when they quit, what they did. Did they read it? Did they did not read that section? And then you can make decisions, because this allows you to basically A/B test and see how it how the interaction changes over time, basically. No, I don't want this one. I don't want this one. I don't want to save this file right now. Not bad. Anyway, this would be probably the thing I would want to have is like clarity on your website or a similar tool. I believe like Clicky was also very similar. Actually, need to check my. So yeah. Let me check quickly. Oh god, this website is, my chat is also dark on this. I realized that your website is dark. Do you have a light mode on your website? Probably don't, right? I realize my chat is also dark. Like, it doesn't really matter, but it just a little bit irritating when I realized that the chat is dark on the. If I change the color now, I think my chat resets on the sidebar. All right. Anyway, yeah, I would like to have the CTA here, and as I mentioned, I mentioned that CTA higher up to go pricing. Okay, so what else do we have? These, okay, yeah, this was nice, fine. Maybe I'd like to have it a little bit smaller. And then the pricing, okay, so we have base course, we have full course, and we have full course and mentorship. One thing I like, I do like the full course plus mentorship options. I know a lot of people have success with it because the mentorship part means that you can actually directly have one-on-one engagement. So some people really enjoy that and really want it. So if you're not selling a separate consulting offer, it's a really nice way to bundle it and upsell it directly, which is really cool. And some other thing I really like about this is that because this price is here, you're basically anchoring these two to appear very cheap. So 40 and 80, and then you go up to 280 and be like, oh, 280 is for this. So even if they like conceptualize, understand that this one-on-one mentorship, and that's the huge extra price, that's the bump in the price as an upsell, worth 200 without the course, yeah, they still psychologically will see these as much cheaper than they are just because they see this next to them. So that's a really nice touch. The full course 80, so I get the complete 2 free updates, okay, for 40, and for 80 I get private community. I mean, I like the idea of the community. I'm wondering what exactly, I guess it would be a nice showcase, like what exactly would the community be? Is just that interacting with people? Is there some kind of session sometimes? Do you like get some one-on-one, not one-on-one, but like just interaction with you? Like, I like the idea, but just sometimes people maybe not completely clear on what the community offer will be. Because we who have joined courses with communities or have used communities separately communities and bought into them or paid like monthly fees, we have different association with the private community means than some people who haven't. So sometimes because that's probably what's not made clear higher above here, right? Because while it's your middle offer, you have not mentioned your community here, I believe. You have not mentioned basically the core part of your middle offer, which seems to be the best value. You have not mentioned what the community means. Like what's the value what's the value for the community? You have not mentioned it in your landing page higher up. So even like stop procrastinate and start now. If it's the private community, start now with together with others. Like keep each other accountable, something like that. Maybe it's a private community and there's like some kind of accountability challenges. So you keep writing every day or every week. Like you can have like just a feature to showcase what the community means. Because in this case, I feel like what the community means. I know what the like private community for a course or like just a community for a specific topic or a person means, but but like the general uh the general visitor on this site might not. All right, so yeah, that I'm actually gonna mention that here. um best value offer as community as as the main upsell, but the community is not mentioned in the landing page. Alright. Okay, so wow, it's been more than half an hour. I'm going through this. Felt like I haven't even done that much. What others say? Okay, so there's the review. Yeah, the reviews. What other people say? Honestly, I'd rather see this feedback, especially if you have gotten some good feedback. And maybe with some more known people in the community, maybe Florent Pop, I guess, has more exposure. No idea. I know him. I actually don't know anyone else here. So maybe those are popular people in the like also some writing community and technical community, but I don't know them. But regardless of that, I would rather see the social proof of what others say about you or about your course, rather than this. Like I might leave one row of three or make them smaller so I can fit a little bit more, like 4 or 5 in a desktop row, and then just have a little bit of these featured. Like you might move another review like this wall of love or whatever you would like to call it. You might move it here and just keep more of them here, but I would love to see some of them here before they actually make the maybe even here somewhere, just right around where there will be an extra CTA, for example, just so it's just so they end up on like this positive note, also like the social proof as well, not just that what you're promising of the dream outcome, but there's also social proof of people saying that you deliver the value, you're very knowledgeable about this stuff and everything. Now when we're returning to the first point I even wanted to add, um, um, heading subheading should have a clear dream outcome offer for the target audience. And for that I mean, and now we're getting to this abyss. Join the list newsletter. I'm not sure if it's your total newsletter or if this is only your course newsletter, but if you're not entirely clear about your target audience for this whole thing, I would actually have an additional drop down here that asks them what would you like to achieve with this course for technical writing. And you could ask them, I want to make my first side income with writing. I would like to improve my writing skills and similar things you might know from your experience. I would say that there might be a drop down, or if you set it up differently with a pop up or anything, just have an extra question. If you don't include it here, you could send a follow up automated emails where, as part of the welcome series, you have some kind of button they could click in that registers the choice they chose in the email, or you send them directly to a survey and ask like specific questions. And some people will fill it in. Obviously, it adds a little bit of resist. It does add a little bit resistance as an additional obstacle. They need to actually choose something. They need to think. So it can reduce conversions to the newsletter. However, those who will add this information, if you're lacking that clear understanding of your target audience, then it's better to lose conversions on this and gain clarity on this, because otherwise you're getting this but you're still running around, like a headless chicken. You're just like trying to like you don't know where you're going anymore. So that's obviously better. Ideally, I would say there's a way to just have like buttons on the welcome email. On the first email, you just have like a list of buttons, and each button has like this parameter set in the button, and they just register based on the choice they choose. What exactly, like what's the primary reason why they're joined, and what the primary reason what's the primary motivation for them wanting to, for example, have the scores. The same thing you can now you can also revalidate that after they join the course as well. You can ask like what was the main motivator as they join the community. Maybe there's an automated message asking them, like in the DMs, for example, in the community, like why did you decide to do that? They write in like free form, and you just save that message somewhere, something like that. It's very beneficial feedback. But those who joined, it's a little bit of a survivorship bias. Those already joined. You want to also know those who didn't join but are showing interest in your newsletter and everything. You want to know why they joined. So that would be like if I mentioned here is that then it's like additional drop down uh, before newsletter sign up, or uh, buttons to choose from slash survey after they join the list. That would help a lot. Then on the FQQ, yeah, refunds you can get up to. Yeah, I would just say like, yeah, 3 days, 30 days money guarantee, no questions asked or something. I don't even like with your proof of purchase and feedback, and I'll refund you. It's cool and all, but you can also ask for the feedback after they actually send that. I assume most people don't, so you don't really need to care about whether you need to ask then, because maybe that's just like 1-2%, for example, request a refund. I would just make it short, make it like clear, like I don't care, like you can get a refund. I mean, as in you don't care that they asked a refund if it doesn't fit. Like there's no like, oh, I need the feedback to refund. Like just less objections. Because we all in our minds have like this understanding what the refund process sometimes means when we ask for feedback. You probably all have seen like surveys, etc., suddenly showing up when you press a unsubscribe button on sites or ask for a refund. Like, just not cool. Just not cool. So you want to avoid any of that projection, misconception, whatever you want to call it, in people's heads about what asking define like providing feedback, etc. means. All right. Um, Next thing. Okay. Oh god, I didn't want to open my X wall. All right. Um, Let me just quickly check. Okay. Um, okay, really provide discounts. The only discounts are for the pre-launch. I generally would just leave out this discount part currently at all. Like, I don't think there's a. It's too expensive. I like that you suggest that you can use a company's learning budget for you, like that's targeting a specific audience that has that budget, and uh they assign that. That would be that's smart. Um, I would also would use that if I had the opportunity. When I was in 9 to 5, I did similar things with some courses. But I like if your CTA at the beginning would be like make your first $1,000 in by technical writing in like I don't know X months or something on the side or something like that. I think this one would not even be need to be mentioned, like because the values there. I don't think you need to justify the cost by like having this. It's too expensive. I just that's a little bit nitpicky, but I just feel like if people actually scroll down here, yeah, maybe it's too expensive, though they can join the list. They then you could just be like, yeah, you can just check out my blog. You know, like you can get some knowledge, some information from the blog. I would say just more assertive FAQs, less justification. It's not exactly, but that's how it sounds. You know, like just. But that's not even that important. This is like that's the bottom. Like you have like maybe what 5% of people actually scroll all the way down. Like it's almost irrelevant to actually really focus on them. Um, the money back guarantee, I would rather plug in somewhere under the somewhere like here already. You know, like 30-day money back guarantee or something. I would just plug it in somewhere here or under the pricing here. Just it's like maybe even include a badge like they do in e-com sites more sometimes, you know, like the security, like safety, like yeah, you can always basically it's guilt-free buy because you always can refund. So that I would rather show it that here already and not bother justifying too much. Yeah, okay, so I will quickly go over the mobile. We also went over this, but I will go over mobile version quickly too. This is what I meant when I mentioned initially that on mobile you need to scroll quite far away because first of all this takes quite a lot on the screen and it doesn't give me like tangible dream outcome that I'll get. Accelerate my career doesn't mean anything to me right now. Like it sounds nice, but it doesn't give anything to me. Like it doesn't provide value to me like right now, feeling like, oh yeah, I'm accelerating my career. And as I mentioned here, this is the thing about getting to these numbers, these social proof numbers, that the part of the dream outcome people might want is that I need to scroll through all of this. And this text doesn't include those. The earn money part doesn't include it. The move beyond writing, the build your reputation learning, it doesn't include any of what you have achieved as like a social proof that they can be just like you or they can move on to become just like you. They do not include this does not include any of that. So that's the key mention for this. As I meant on mobile, you're kind of scrolling for a pretty far down. These logos are pretty small on mobile. That's nice. On desktop, they're taking more space. And as I mentioned, yeah, the reviews could be included here, but that's already mentioned. The pricing, yeah, there's nothing much. There's nothing that much more to add on the. You could throw in a one extra CTA somewhere at the bottom here again. At least for mobile, it makes sense. They read through the reviews, then go to pricing again. Just they don't even need to scroll up. Don't waste their time. Okay, I wow, it's been taking quite a long time actually. I was considering that maybe I need to also look at your blog and everything to understand like what kind of things are in your blog, to understand like does the blog reflect this. Maybe, I mean, I assume I can do a little bit here, right? Check your blog as well. I go to your links. Telegram community. Okay. Hardware, software. Where's your? Wait, this is your blog, right? Newsletter. Okay, let's check what's the newsletter. Oh, so that amount was your newsletter amount, right? These 2000. Yeah, so these were actually your newsletter. Fair enough. All about software engineering, developer health, resources, and content creation. So this is not just technical writing, right? So these are people, a little bit more general audience. So you're getting people who, if you want to convince them to on the technical writing, that means they might have a 9 to 5 and they want side income, for example. They're not all technical writers or writers in general. So here we so this joint 3000 means that I'm looking at an audience that implying you have not changed the CTA, so I don't know what the breakdown is of what kind of audience you have there. But this gives me an assumption that that is the type of audience you have is the developers, software engineers, and obviously there's content creation, but they might be more aspiring to also like having the like maybe news on the resources, or developer health, and the content creation, but I don't see the writing mentioned here, which means that this audience maybe wants to make more money in the technical writing on the side, or get better, even if it means that like their corporate job, they want to get better at explaining certain technical things within their teams, and etc. Maybe that's even another thing they want to get good at for progressing their career, basically accelerating their career through doing better, explanation in technical terms, something like that. I don't know, like this. This is what I see here. That gives me okay. Now this gives me a little bit understanding that yeah, maybe that CTA on the course at the top needs to make sure you're targeting that audience you're reaching right now, whether with the newsletter or maybe you have two separate landing pages, one that goes from the newsletter upsells and the other one that goes from X or etc. Depending on your audience. Now I feel like there's more developers than oh wait, did I? Okay, that's the course. Okay. Software I use. Where's the blog? This is not the blog. There's other people. Where's the blog? Community. Oh no, I don't want Telegram. Oh, this is the blog. Okay. Jesus. Don't you have a link to your blog at the top navigation just so you get to the post right away? Like some kind of list of posts? Because now I'm like, where's the blog? And I'm just looking at these links and none of them lead to your blog, but the blogs are here, even with the tags as well. I might be like missing something here, but it feels like they're missing a navigation. Home is the blog. Okay. Yeah, because I was getting to a completely different site with this. I was a little bit confused. But yeah, the home is a blog, so it's your personal website / blog. All is good, I guess. How does it even look on mobile? Huh? Projects? Okay, I'm subscribing here, so I get in a newsletter. I start receiving topics. I guess that's yeah. The CTAs are here for the newsletter. I'm just looking where the posts are, and then I need to scroll past. But it's nice. You're actually plugging in the course, I guess. So it's all okay. Whatever. I just feel like I want to like have a list of posts. I mean, I'm not doing it myself right now. Actually, I just feel like I would like to just have getting to the list. What is this? This is like a tablet size, right? Do we actually have like this? Anyway, this is not. I'm not nitpicking on the small stuff. Okay. So we go to a blog post, 10-minute read. Nice. That's a long read. I just want to see what's going on. Support this blog. Become a supporter. I never seen this link before. So I'm paying you money for supporting you. Okay. Okay. I feel like you could definitely plug in your. Like these share buttons nowadays are completely useless. So do you actually get any shares from these? Like I feel like nowadays like they're just distraction. Yeah, I could probably plug in the. First of all, I don't see a subscribe to newsletter on the posts because if you are indexing these posts with Google, I'll check the SEO a little bit. By the way, I'll check it. If you're indexing these posts on Google, you would be getting readers that are not actually subscribed to your newsletter. So I'd feel like having additional clear CTA with subscribe. I mean, the subscribe button is here, so I guess that's completely fine. It's just like adding additional CTA sometimes in the middle or at the bottom of the post. If they ignore this, is also nice. Like they just enter an email right away. Obviously, this button is fine, but I sometimes I don't know what it is, but I notice me personally, and I notice sometimes when I check like how people interact with the website, they just sometimes ignore these. They like subscribe free, they read it once, and they just then ignore the button. Then they just scroll to this article, and if there's no like proactive call to action here, like there is a support action. That's what I see. But if there's no clear CTA somewhere in the middle or at the bottom, be like, yeah, hey, join this, and there's a form, people actually just close the tab and leave because they read this subscribe first and they'll be like, they have not gotten value from you yet, so they be like, oh, subscribe free, nah, I'm not right now. So they continue reading, they read, and somewhere here they decide to, for example, or maybe they read through because they got a lot of value out, but they leave because they saw this before and they forgot. Like their conscious already checked the box of clicking on this button, so they don't re-engage with that. That's something that can happen. I actually am gonna go check with because I assume every single article looks the same. So let's do this. Let's check what's happening with your CTAs. I mean, not CTAs. What's happening with your here? I meant here. Okay, so you have authority score. That's not even that bad. From SEMrush, you have backlinks. You have some organic traffic that was higher before. I guess the helpful content didn't exactly help your traffic. I'm not sure if that's true, but that might have happened. Your helpful content did not help you. The helpful content update from Google did not help you. But you're getting back some traffic. That's cool. I started it like 3 years ago during COVID, I guess. All right. What I'm gonna look at is traffic analytics? Nah, actually, don't care about traffic analytics right now. I just want what I care about more is actually seeing the pages and which pages are. So it tells me that you're most likely getting most traffic to this page. What is that? So this is a blog post with ZH plugins, okay? Oh, so you just write a lot of technical content. It's also ergonomics. You write content on like shell experience. What I could say maybe improve in this context could be creating content pillars for your blog posts. Like just like you have the tags, because you can click on the tags, I assume. You could also have content pillars where basically like a developer health, and under that developer health you have the individual newsletter posts as or blog articles. Then you have like some kind of CLI or just developer tooling category, and under that category, so you're basically creating a sub landing page where specific keywords could be funneled through to the articles. So that way, with those content pillars, you might start ranking better for that page with specific keywords, and you would also have kind of build the authority for that page by feeding like the backlinks you get on these blog posts, and the share you get by other people. You're just kind of feeding into that topic. It might be a good idea because currently they're all on the root level. You could go through like ideally you don't want to redirect anymore, but at least internal linking wise, you could create the middle page and then link the posts, link from that content pillar page down to those individual posts under that specific category, and choose just couple categories. Don't do it for every tag. Just if you choose couple categories, you can build a little bit better SEO that way. And then from that individual post, you would have like breadcrumbs, basically, like here, for example, at the top, linking back to the category, which is like shell or like developer tooling, and then ZHS. So that way people who are also interested in shell tooling, more articles about it, they might also even click on it and check all the articles you have on the specific category, and that improves obviously their interaction with your website. That helps SEO because then they're not bouncing, they may be spending more time on your site, and Google metrics improve that way, and they just get and Google likes that. Google likes that you're helping people, so that could improve the engagement as well. Not just the fact that you're kind of like have a little bit better structure on the website for Google to see like what kind of content, what type of topics you cover, and how they're structured. So you kind of have this topical authority that can be built on those content pillar pages, and you might start rank. For example, here I already see that you have supposedly some keywords, I guess, ranking on. Actually, this says 0 keywords, but you have indexed tag pages for JavaScript and Git. Now, for the topics that you cover frequently, maybe you're not even ranking the tag page. You actually would be ranking specifically. Yeah, like that. This actually it literally would be a pillar page, as long as you can modify this page a little bit, have a little bit more keywords in the. Basically, if the tag itself maybe is not the keyword, but you have a little bit of better like subheading and this, including some keywords and some CTAs here, and showcasing these posts on the topic. Maybe even like you don't have thumbnails for these, right? Yeah, it doesn't matter, but you could actually use these tag pages, like specific couple tag pages that you could perhaps have highlighted somewhere here also on the front page. So you would create a specific understandable hierarchy. Okay, they land on the home page. You have 4 categories that people can go to. So not just your projects here, you also link to the main categories, for example, and then you also have the newest posts, and then people can. Then the Google also understands that you value these specific categories more. So whatever authority your landing like your domain has, specifically also for the landing page, can be transferred to those categories, and then from those categories you can transfer it down to the specific articles, and those articles can also feed back some of the authority to the category, like the topical authority, back to your domain, like the whole domain, basically the category. And basically that helps, like, yeah, it sounds like a Ponzi scheme, but it basically helps you develop more topical authority, specifically on let's say on developer tooling, or whatever you end up calling the category, whatever the keywords are that also have decent search on Google and with like appropriate keyword difficulty for you to aim for. That's the SEO part, by the way. That's like I'm not gonna cover too much, but I assume there are a couple categories you could actually highlight a little bit more. Should do some SEO research for that. That will help with that would help also ranking the individual articles higher, not just the category, because they would kind of start sharing a little bit of that. Yeah, I just went through this a little bit to understand what your audience is, because here I see that you're targeting developers and your courses on technical writing. So if a developer is seeing like accelerate your career with technical writing, how does he connect the dots going from a developer, accelerating career as a developer with technical writing. I think yeah, it is in the subheading, but I feel like if they want to like do technical writing, what exactly that is, are they building, as you mentioned, the expertise? Are they just want to make $1,000 on the side a month, for example? So because that's why I was just looking at these, because I realized that your audience is way more technical, I guess, than I would have assumed. I would have assumed there's a little bit of already writers, like technical writers in the mix, or just like people who enjoy writing. But now, if I'm looking at your top articles based on alleged SEMrush traffic, I'm not sure how accurate it actually is for you specifically. Um, I would obviously say you improve your landing page and you improve your content here, like the this part, the above the fold profile with the link to a course or something, and then writing a little bit more on your X feed about like basic strategies or in-depth strategies, and then leading them to the appropriate landing page, for example, or a blog post, and then advertising your course there, for example, something like that. You just want to, because I feel, because you do. Oh yeah, since you're finally here, because you might not have been here in the beginning, is there a reason there's a gap between August 5 and November 4th? I felt like you were on X between these. What is it? 3 months? There's like a 3 months gap now that I'm looking at your wall, and it'll be nice if I just go, because I feel like you're not writing uh enough to like those free knowledge. Okay. Yeah, but I think if you continue writing like this free knowledge content that I don't see on your wall as much, but it would be nice if you, I guess, do those free knowledge posts where maybe a little bit longer form, and you're giving up a little bit, like small bits for free. Because the reason people buy courses, and I'm pretty sure it's for you as well, um, is that we we feel we like we buy courses because it's structured information and it saves us time. But if you don't provide, but giving just a small bit of it away for free doesn't actually change the value of your course, because your course will be more structured and people also have aspirational dreams, so they kind of buy that dream outcome that you're providing with the course. They're not necessarily buying just the information you provide. They want to be like you in terms of writing. They want to make money on the side with writing. They're not like they're buying also that aspiration, not just the value of the course. So that small bits, if you start giving them away here, and or showcase also, like maybe post your YouTube videos here as well more, like maybe if they provide this technical writing um information, it would be really nice if you did that like at least once a week or something. And you might delete like some kind of posts that like lower performing, but you shouldn't care as much about like impressions or likes on the post as much. If you're doing specifically posts that will link to the course, for example, or newsletter, you should care about whether they actually converted people to visit the website, whether that converted them to the newsletter or they converted them to the course. You should not care about whether they got the likes, because some of the posts that you will get relatively small interaction might actually convert people to the, like, for example, I have made posts when I sold my unlimited, some of my unlimited offers, and I showcased it on X. Like here, my motivation went up 50% after selling. Gosh, could I find it on my? It will be a little bit. I actually don't know when I made that. I haven't made too many posts, so I don't post that much. Um, and I do like my posts a lot when I try to find, so I can find them in the likes. I have not categorized them in the bookmarks, so I actually like them sometimes to find them under likes. Um, by the way, but yes, sometimes you can catch me. I'm liking my tweets as well. Um, so here boosted my motivation by 50%. I sold the unlimited, right? It got 1.7k views, 22 likes, including mine, so 21, right? And I sold another unlimited directly from this tweet. I sent another unlimited 2K, 2.3K, whatever it was deal directly from that tweet. Like it, like like of course they might have already been almost convinced to buy it, and that was just an additional contact point where I showcased that I sold like that unlimited consultation deal, right? But it might not have been the main contributor to the conversion, but it added a little bit more touch points, and people just like, oh yeah, I'm here too, right? So you should care more about the actual bottom line. For example, if you see bookmarks on your posts as well, like I would not remove posts that have some bookmarks. Some people say like bookmarks are just from bots. But I've noticed that some posts sometimes from that where I actually provide like small bits of knowledge get like I don't know a couple likes, and they get more bookmarks or the same amount of bookmarks as likes. I already know that that post actually is like a bit of value people need, so you can sometimes expand on that specific comment. That's actually more often like happens with replies for me, but for me, by the way, not the posts. Replies actually sometimes have that when I reply to some question or some problem people have, and I just provide extra value, and they get actually sometimes a lot of bookmarks. I also know that I can use that specific question or topic as a inspiration for a post where I can expand more on that, or that actually that's a problem people have, and you make sure like don't clean up those. Okay, like even if there's not that many likes, if they have bookmarks, I would generally keep them around. Because people first of all might want to return to it, and they will be exposed to your tweet again. And there's also like this thing about X where sometimes on mobile I know that shows this bar here and tells you revisit your bookmarks, for example, and it can showcase some other person's tweets that you have like basically bookmarked, so like, you can revisit them. So that actually just provides free exposure for your posts if they bookmark. So I personally think it's not even worth cleaning up too much. I mean, if you write too many shit posts, maybe you should be cleaning up a little bit. But if you provide value, which I think you should be doing, cleaning up may be unnecessary. And what the hell is my feed? I hate my For You feed. And then I go to my following feed, and I just get hey, I get I get hey you. Oh wow, you repost a lot. You actually repost quite a lot. Not bad. Everyone just learning about technical. Check this out. Hey, you get some free promotion as well. Anyway, okay. Yeah, that was a little bit of off tangent. But yeah, I guess this should be wow. It went way over 1 hour 20 minutes. I even have a consultation call in like an hour, I think. With a new client of mine. But if I go to the, I wanted to also quickly share something else. Whoever is watching, I also have this thing here. This is one of my posts as well, and I have like this paper insight offer, a very simple page where I'm 90% off. So the idea is that if I get access to your data, like SEO data, analytics, ads data, some kind of maybe like and also maybe like just all the access I can get to some data and analytics, whatever points you have, that I would be reviewing that and providing you a single insight a week. So this is basically for 90% off. I plan to maybe launch it as a subscription later. Basically, you get 1 point from me to work on for that week or whatever, whenever you decide to do it. But right now it's not a monthly subscription, it's just 49. There's one limited offer left still at this discount price, and you get 1 insight a week when I get access to all the analytics and data points that I get from you. And I would just go through that. I would explain, perhaps in video, perhaps in text, I'll explain to you what your current situation with that is, and I'll provide like a bullet point plan for a specific point. That might mean that I explain maybe even similar. It's basically similar what I did with the roast, but I would be focusing on a one single like main point. Let's say a landing page. I'm focusing on like above the fold, and I'm explaining how based on your like specific audience insights I can gain where your audience is coming from, that you perhaps should be focused and what keywords, for example, those blog posts are ranking for, that you perhaps should be focusing with your messaging differently, that those are like a specific group of people like developers, and that your messaging perhaps should be moving more towards like how do you like make the side income, or you try it, A/B test it, try the one version or the other version, whether you make a side income or whether you're actually trying to improve your career, like climb your ladder by being better at expressing and selling those ideas in writing to like climb your like corporate ladder, basically just be better at PRing internally. So that would be like the ideas I would be selling. And then SEO insights as well. For example, like I mentioned content pillars, I mentioned like maybe even navigation changes. Like basically I would provide one insight a week, and right now it's $49. So that puts each insight at $12, which considering my time investment in gathering that each insight, it's actually pretty bad deal for me. But I want to test this concept out. Two of the slots of the three free slots are already filled. There's one left. You can get in. We can start right away. We can start in like a week or a month if you actually a month. No, I actually would like to start like if we can start like in a week. You would need some time to perhaps decide what product, because you can buy now and like we can start in 1 week. But I wouldn't want to start later because I need some early feedback. So yeah, I might even open another slot up later, because I think one of the people who purchased actually went on a vacation right after purchasing, so I won't be getting early feedback on that. So I might open another slot later, but there's only one now. I'll think about it, depending on how like the first week I guess goes with the other client or the other two clients if someone buys this. So yeah, so this basically the idea with this is that I want to go to a model where it's pay per insight. It's not pay per like per audit. It's not pay per like paying per like hourly pay. It's not paying per project of like or paying per consultation. It's paying specifically per actionable insight you've gained, which includes some analysis and a plan. And you decide what you do with it. You throw it out. You modify it for your own needs because you understand it better, or maybe you decide to actually implement it as is because you think that's actually makes complete sense. So the more information I get, the more access to information I have, the more data I have, the more accurate I guess the insights I could generate. But yeah, that's the offer. That's the offer currently. And I guess I'm gonna quickly go over Yuri's. I need to quickly go over the Yuri's offer because I already roasted him once, and I'm gonna quickly roast him a bit again. So Catalan, you are fully roasted, I guess now. Yeah, I guess you're fully cooked now. I mean, your brain was already fried, but now it's roasted as well. Okay. Now we go with the war stat. Okay, so we launch. So I do not remember. Honestly, I do not remember what the points I made last time because I have not returned to the previous roast. So, but I remember that this was very vague. But now it's we launch startups in 6 weeks, and that's what also I mean with giving advice as to Catalan. Launching in 6 weeks is very actionable, very clear what the value is, right? Not actionable, but it's very clear what the value proposition is and what the dream outcome is. You get it done in 6 weeks. So you get your project, website, app, whatever. Now, the only complaint you could have is that if you launch startups in 6 weeks, it's not clear whether you literally are a launchpad for a startup here or are you actually developing the website. Now, people do need to scroll down to understand what you mean by the launch in startups. That's the like, that would be the main complaint here. I would be like, what does it mean we're launching startups in 6 weeks? Sounds nice, but what does it mean? Is that a launchpad for the startup? Like everything, like it's monetization, not monetization, but it's actually like helping a person like make a company and everything like that. That's the only thing here, because it would be like more like we we launch startup MVP, like MVP in 6 weeks or something. I don't need to think about it, but the only complaint, that's it. Nothing. Can't, because I already fried one person, one project. I have a my brain's, I guess, not fully functioning anymore. Actually, we'll need to do it quickly and leave some break for the consultation call. Otherwise, it's pretty hard for me to do back to backs. Um. Okay, nice. Yeah, I think I might have mentioned that as well. I'm not sure if it was before, but I mentioned like nice social proof, and I believe it was already there. But it's nice that people refer, like, this is again something I mentioned for the old technical writing course as well. Seeing this higher up before making a decision, uh, really nice to have featured at least one line of like these three. Now, this I mentioned the case studies and what you have actually built, another social proof factor, and explaining your process. First iteration, Telegram bot. Second iteration, progressive web app. Nice. Um, that's it. I almost expected the third iteration, but yeah, this is really nice. Like the iteration process. You also explaining. It also is talking to that startup nature that you have in the CTA that you're iterating, and you're starting with a bot. Makes a lot of sense. Pay as you go. Obviously, some are not clickable, but they're, I guess, because you might not be able to share the details, but it showcases that you have worked on those projects. Really nice. My container. It showcases like progression that you have worked for a long, serious security breach. They were shut down. Oh wow. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just want to leave this out. Just leave on the happy and happy story that you actually stepped away from the project for private reasons. Like this went dark really quick. Like, and just I may I would like to like end the stories on like a happy ending. I mean, maybe you want to isolate yourself and protect yourself in a way, but that justification for a random person, because I have no idea what happened with that project. I assume most people have no idea about these random crypto projects that happen. They don't remember them anymore unless they get burned by it. But I assume that's not a huge portion of the user base on people that are like landing here. So maybe I just like leave this breach out. Just a happy ending, okay? I mean, you want to own your mistakes, but this was probably not your a mistake or your involvement. And just the only choice you made was perhaps having them as a client, right? So oh yeah, let's build together. 6 weeks. Pre-discovery, weekly installments. Again, smaller investment. All right, up. You're actually paying per week, and 3 months of pre-support. I feel like the price is actually relatively low. If you're targeting US clients, it's in dollars, not in euros as well here. So pretty low, but I think that's what you're offering, right? The technically also the low price for MVP. Makes sense for startups. For specifically the ones that are get their like first like seed funding angel investor, right? So they can just outsource the development of the MVP here with you for like what 7.5k. Nice. And I know you created this offer for 3.7k. I don't mind you keeping this offer just to get some better understanding of the processes, but I already mentioned that the one main issue is when you lower the price is that you get different quality clients. The higher the price, generally the better quality clients. So the lower price clients usually have more change requests. They're more micromanaging every single move you make, etc. So they just generally consume more of your time. So what I would suggest when you do this with is that if you get these paper offers done, maybe don't commit to every single one of them, even if you feel like you need money. You check if that looks like the client that would have paid the full price. If it's a client that's like, oh yeah, we have a low budget, but this barely makes your like budget or something, you should try to look for those flags in the discovery calls process and the initial conversations. You should look for that and maybe cut them. If you start seeing that, you should cut it short. I mean, you have done probably some freelancer 9 to 5s. You probably have some understanding of approximately how those things go. So that's the main thing. Just because of that discount, the lower price, I just want to make sure here it's okay to say no even if you need money. Sometimes you just need to say no because you could spend that time that you don't work on that project on at least trying to get side gigs on, like even if it's Upwork or whatever, you just or like getting some gigs through like your social network and communities you're in with, right? That's still better than like committing to like us like a longer 3 months one, but this is 1.5, but you have pre-support as well for 3 months, so committing to those 4 months of doing something. That is just a pricing thing I have to mention. Always very important. And commonly asked question: how does the launch works? So you get the weekly installments reminder again, payment structure, handle communication, what's included, what's a good fit. Good, yeah. You have like more clear. I think that like I might not be going through this right now because I'm already like I myself am fried. But I like what you're offering here as well. Like I think it's way more clear that I think was before. And you have a book a call, email, you have a book a call here, multiple CTAs, everything. So they go through the commonly asked questions. They have a CTA right next to it. Really good. And you have another link to yourself as an author. Oh, and there's that's a link to the website. But yeah, you have like CTAs to your socials. Is that your yeah, anyway. I guess that's your app or something. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, previously you were talking about content pillars, but I see you moved on to a landing page instead of SEO. But what I gave you as SEO advice for targeting like specific things and how you solve them, I think it still applies. You can do that. But SEO is not it will take time. So if you have the time and luxury to spend that time on it now, you can spend some time on it now. But obviously, if you want to focus on just getting those first clients and seeing how the process goes, I just focus then on the outreach and marketing and networking everywhere you can. Okay. I mean, that's actually there's not much to go over with. I guess I think I definitely like this way more than before. It's more clear. Maybe the we launch startups is nice offer. Maybe just and just make more clearly like what happens here. Because maybe you can make this headline longer and move this start free, pay weekly, stop anytime as a subheading with a little bit smaller font. So you can add this clarity that you get like I guess an app or whatever, for example, or a website MVP, and that just and then this moves to the subheading with a smaller font that just does. I think otherwise I'm generally complete. I feel much more satisfied with this. There's probably some extra content that could be added, but I'm still fine. I'm actually significantly more happier with this. Especially the commonly asked questions probably answer most of the pain points. Yeah. So it's almost risk free because you can stop anytime. So they only pay by the week. Like personally, I would like to receive the money up front for everything and not actually have it weekly, but I get it, I guess. For it's also another filter for the client. So maybe you can experiment sometimes whether you I guess that comes with experience as well. If you offer the weekly, whether you get like what kind of quality clients you get, whether they drop after week 2 or 3, whether they're lower budget clients. Basically, as you that would mostly come with volume. If you increase the clients you start getting in your funnel, then at that point you might decide that maybe you want to move on to better clients. Instead, you just remove a little bit of the risk for you yourself, and then just try charging upfront, like everything upfront. So there's less of a churn, you would say. So basically, you would improve the client but perhaps reduce the volume, just improve the client quality, just so you can move on to perhaps charging more as well. That's just my feedback. I actually can't tell you. That's all needs to be tested, and in this context, it's actually not as easy to test. But I get why it will be attractive to do the weekly, and have it. You'll be able to cancel anytime. I completely get it. Why it will be more attractive to startups. Uh, But startups should be able to commit especially the 3.7K, but also the 7.5K. So if they're serious about it and they want to just outsource the MEP and they can focus on doing marketing, because here we're also talking about basically the way a position I see is that the founders for the startup are actually more marketing focused and they just want to outsource building the MEP to validate it, which actually honestly makes more sense. So it also could be like content creators and whoever doesn't have the technical knowledge, they want to focus on the distribution part, marketing, and they just need someone to make it. I think that's similar how you have the deal with Giannis Ozolinj, right? I assume that's he wants the app, you're building it with him. He has the distribution, and you can provide the technical part. So yeah, but there's probably some angle you can leverage there on the whole offer part, not just startups, but maybe you can have a separate landing page for how content creators could also benefit from their own apps or their own like some kind of gamified offers or whatever they have decided to create on the side, or the course, and they want like to have like a very special course experience or something like that. So you work with them as well, for example. That could be a separate offer, not just startups. But yeah, that was already moving aside from this I have here. Yeah, I would like you to also move into SEO later. Not now, probably, but move into SEO a bit with those, generating some additional leads that way. And I know that you're doing the outreach. That should lead to a little bit better conversion rate and also a little bit better understanding of what the people actually want. So good job on that. I did not actually expand on everything for Catalyst either. Unfortunately, not, but it is what it is. I didn't even write anything down for you. But okay, I have a consultation call in 1 hour. So I guess the stream is done. I'll see you next time. You still have an opportunity to buy that one last extra slot for $49. Get some insights. It's actually on the background, on the cardboard background behind me, nesters.me/insights. That's where you can buy it. Yeah, thank you for those who tuned in. I can see that at least from X impressions because Catalin retweeted me. Thanks for that. I am definitely getting a little bit more views on this. Oh yeah, I even got a shout out later from you. Thank you. Yeah, but if whoever's tuning in now, this like 12 minutes ago, I was already moving on to the next project and and I'll be done with this live stream. I mean, I'll have another live stream tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'll be talking about my SEO course in Roblox. Yeah, that's sort of happening. Or we'll roasting someone, or maybe even find a guest for tomorrow. Who will see. But next live stream is tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, anyone. I'll see what I can do tomorrow. I'm just trying to do a daily live stream every day this week, so I've done 4 so far. I'll stop at 5. Weekends are usually not getting that much engagement anyway, so and I should probably take a break as well. So tomorrow will be the last live stream this week. I don't think I'll be able to repeat it next week, but if I find enough guests, I might actually try it again next week. Because then we'll probably maybe just try to work a little bit on some individual offers for Black Friday or something. That would be awesome if I could find some people willing to also, I guess, contribute their projects for some Black Friday offer creation, etc. That would be also nice. We can do that as well. So yeah, anyone who's tuning in actually hearing that, if you have your project that you would like to be looked at, we can do that as well. So can do some roasts, can do some Black Friday preps. Anyway, see you tomorrow.